I'm Steph Rodriguez, and today I'll be giving my speech on standardized exams in K-12 schools. This is my audience. Nothing stressed me out more than knowing I had to get up the next morning to sit in a classroom and take a 3-hour exam. The No Child Left Behind law was put into place to aid in student success and retention. A few years after this was put into place, there wasn't a lot of improvements that were being shown. And actually, in an overall comparison to countries all over the world, the US actually dropped from 18th place to 30th place in regards to overall student programs and the education system. Standardized exams have demonstrated how the NCLB has lacked effectiveness, how tests do not accurately reflect student achievement, and how poorly they measure important attributes of a student. Today I would like to share with you the negative impacts and effects that these can have on students. I will begin why the NCLB has lacked effectiveness. In 2002, the Bush administration implemented the NCLB in order to narrow the achievement gap between poor students and advantaged students. This law was also put into place because they realized there was a decline in scores because of an increase of immigrants and low-income students. Actually, in California, schools noticed that there was an increase in non-native English speakers. That being said, there was lower exam scores, not because the students did not know the material, but because there was a language barrier. Schools really rely a lot on funding, and so if states decided not to use the NCLB, they would lose a lot of funding, so it was important to comply to these to get good funding that would really help the educational programs in each state and really help advance the student programs. The NCLB was also put into place because schools were failing to meet requirements. At the end of 2011, about 50% of schools across the nation were not meeting their annual yearly progress. Because of this, teachers were really pressured to start drilling and do more memorization instead of using long-term strategies that are really effective to actually learn material instead of short-term memorization to learn material. Standardized exams do not accurately reflect student achievement. There is more to test than just a multiple choice exam to test student success. This can be anything from the motivation a student has to anything else. Something that really is not good is that when you're taking these exams, you're taking it throughout the school and you're not even able to get these exams back in time in order to see what a student could really improve on. It takes about 3 to 4 months to receive these standardized exams back, and sometimes even until the summer. So students aren't able to see what they were struggling with in the exams, and teachers aren't able to see what children were struggling with in order to help them improve. This could really impact students' futures in order to see what they might be struggling with in order so they don't fall behind on required material. Something that really reflects student achievement is coursework, grades, and your GPA. A GPA really reflects all the hard work you put in throughout all your years. And coursework grades really reflect day in and day out things that you're always working on. And it really shows like what you're averaging throughout the whole year. Instead of a one-day exam that you're sitting there for 2 hours, who knows if you're sick or if you're not having a good day. How does that really accurately reflect how intelligent and how capable you are of fulfilling your exam? Achievement can also be measured in different ways by class participation and extracurriculars, any clubs, any student clubs, or motivation too. Just because you're not very good at school doesn't mean you have the same you don't have any motivation. Someone may be struggling in school but might have just as much motivation to do better, so it might require them some more time or some more attention. Lastly, let me explain to you how these exams poorly reflect attributes of a student. Not everything is based on intellectualness. That being said, according to a peer-reviewed study article on educational strategies, it's really important to have more important attributes that greatly impact student success. These attributes can range anything from creativity, motivation, curiosity, and even leadership. It's really important to have these because it really makes you a well-rounded student instead of someone that's just book smart. It puts a lot of pressure on teachers, and it creates a biased teaching environment. So that being said, teachers may not be able to expose you to all the cool things that you may be able to do, and might be drilling more on math, science, and reading, and might be taking less time to work on art or history, or being able to spark that interest that you might have. So the question that we ask ourselves today is, are all these exams really making students exceed, or are they putting a damper on expansive student learning?
All right.